You're listening to the Productive Not Busy podcast, where our mission is to make you more money so you'll have less stress and more free time. It's all about mindset, attitude, and taking action. And your host, Wayne Weathersby, knows how to make that happen. He's negotiated and closed over $150 million in contracts while building businesses with proven success strategies that he wants to share with you. So if you're ready to make some real money, then let's get to it. Here's Coach Wayne.
Welcome to another episode of the Hammer Down Sales and Productivity Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Wayne, and I want to welcome everybody to this episode. It is a beautiful evening here in Central Florida on Thanksgiving night. And I just wanted to reach out and give you guys a little something to think about on your long weekend. And I appreciate you tuning in and listening. I wanted to go over a couple of things. I was making some notes this afternoon for myself, and I got to thinking. I had some really good conversations around the dinner table this evening with some folks, and we were talking about what the differences were between really super successful people and people who just seem to plod along or struggle through whatever career they happen to be in. And, it all boiled down for me is, it comes down to confidence, mindset, and effort. And, on the subject of confidence, there are people every day that go through life intimidated and insecure. They look at everyone as they're smarter, they're brighter, they're more talented, or more beautiful, whatever the case may be. They put these people on a pedestal and they look down on themselves. And that's the first mistake that I see is that, obviously you got to be confident in yourself and really use these people as motivation to make yourself better, right? So I'm not saying that it's not good to celebrate people or look up to people that you admire, for their accomplishments. But you can't forget one thing. You are to be celebrated and you are to be admired, and you are something special. But it starts with you. You can't rely on other people telling you that to make yourself feel better to get started, right? Mindset is not a commodity, and effort's not a commodity. There's not somebody standing at the door handing out chips. A little bit for you, a little bit for you, more for this person, less for this person. It all starts upstairs. And that's one thing that I work with a lot of my clients on is that you have to decide how much effort you're going to put into whatever it is that you're doing. And it doesn't matter if it's something simple or something very complex. Effort is infinite. There's no limits to the amount of effort that you can put behind something. But along with that, you have to have a positive mindset. And the mindset is that you're going to be able to accomplish whatever it is you put your mind to. You're going to be able to look at things in a different way when you have a positive mindset and you know that there's no limit to the effort that it can take to do it. It takes effort to do this podcast. It takes mindset to do this podcast. I have to decide to sit down and time block the time in and realize that for the next 20, 30 minutes, nothing is going to interrupt what I'm doing. And I'm going to do the research it takes to put the podcast together. So when you are in sales or if you're just going through life in general, everything takes effort and everything takes mindset. So you're going to want to make sure that you surround yourself with people that inspire you. You've got to have people that you look up to and model yourself around, right? That's what great coaches for sports teams do. And that's what great CEOs do is they take time to look at what's successful and what is going to be the plan to put themselves or their business over the top. Welcome back. Before we took a break, we were talking about mindset and confidence and effort. And I kind of wanted to break down what the differences were in the people that fall into those categories. So you have people that are ordinary, you have people that are average, and you have people that are extraordinary business people. And let's break down the three and look at the differences here. Take, for example, the ordinary business owner is about 80% of the people that make up millions of business owners on the planet. They do little to nothing to prepare to be in business, and they do little or nothing in an effort standpoint to attempt to learn new tools to help themselves improve their skills and really desire to have anything other than just be an ordinary because they're getting by. Then you look at the average business owner, and it's the guy or gal at some point learned a few skills and became above ordinary, that occasionally shows flashes of brilliance, right? And kind of has a blueprint on what they want to do to be successful. And it's okay with just, making a living if that's what you're looking to do in business. But if you want to take it to the next level, you really have to look at it from the standpoint of setting the expectation of being extraordinary. Now, the extraordinary salesperson is the exclusive, guy or gal that's wrapped their head around the fact that they're going to be an expert or the best at whatever it is that their, particular business is. They're exceptional at follow-up. They're exceptional at building rapport and all the basics of the sales. And they take their job very, very serious. They're always going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they put themselves in a position to close the deal, put themselves in a position to acquire clients, right? Which means there's no shortcuts. The trap that most business people fall into is that they try to nice their way into good business, nicing their sales force, nicing their clients, and that's great. But if all it took was being nice, all people that put forth a kind and nice approach, they'd all be rich and everything would be great. But if you never tried or are limited in your sales and closing skills, you'll never succeed. I've never understood why someone would not want to be a pro at what they do. We all have the same 24 hours in the day to accomplish the tasks at hand, and only a few of us make the most of it. Take, for example, if you have a brick and mortar business, it's just a building with a bunch of product inside. The customers can buy that product anywhere. What they're really buying is they're buying you and your skills and your salespeople. And that's what separates you from all the other businesses out there that do the same product as you. Anyone can be an order taker. All I'm asking is that people look at it and take pride in what they do to become the best. Enthusiasm will get you only so far. And at some point, you must engage yourself and make sure that you're always doing something to improve your skills to be the absolute best at what you can do. For example, I use this one all the time. Would you want to fly on an airplane where the pilot halfway listened through the flight training and really doesn't know all that much about being an expert on the takeoff and the landing of the airplane? Or the doctor who just treats the symptoms and never took the time to learn how to do what it takes to cure the illness in the first place? So what I want to do is help people accomplish learning what it takes to be extraordinary in the profession, whatever their profession happens to be. In order to get what you want in life and business, you must become engaged to the idea that you must learn all of the skills it takes to be everything from the most basic to the most difficult. The most successful people in the world have always solved a problem or took an opportunity to make something better out of something that already existed. Remember, if you think you can't, you won't. Just think, how great is it that you're in a profession where you can limit the amount of money Let me rephrase that. How great is it that you have an opportunity to be a business owner and there's absolutely no limit to the amount of money that you can make? When you wake up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror, you're writing the checks. You're the one that's responsible for putting the effort and the process and the procedure and the people in place to be successful. And that's a beautiful thing. Being an entrepreneur is an absolute beautiful thing. And I highly encourage everybody to take the leap.